And we can nerf it anywhere, can't we? Well, not plastic, presumably. Do you want me to hold it there? Right, we're reading 100%. Let's see if it'll start this puppy. How big's the engine in this? 2.2. 2.2 diesel. Yes! That was dead, guys. It would not start at all.
I'm fucking sure there was a positive there.
Well, I think that's going to go with Adrian for the day, because you don't know if that's going to happen again, do you?
That's a good shout, actually.
So Dutch is back from going down to Moores for its MOT, went straight through. The only thing they picked up on was a weeping sump plug, needed a new fibre washer on that, I think it's fibre. And they did a service on it, but went straight through on the MOT side of things. Another advantage of doing with a 2018 car with low miles, I guess, is that you shouldn't be getting the bills for the MOTs like you are with the older stuff. I guess this is a perfect scenario, isn't it? New enough for you as a trader that you're not going to get bills from it, but low cost enough that it still attracts buyers because it's in that sort of sub 6k category. Because the problem with it when you start getting into the more expensive stuff is that takes longer to sell, even though it needs less work. The problem with the cheaper stuff is it sells super quick, but it needs more work. And we're going to look at an example of one of those now. The Cash Guy, 2011, that's back from its MOT, needed a lot. Nothing concerning in terms of, you know, rot or anything like that, just serviceable items. So, new discs and pads on the front, new tyres all round. I need the invoice to find out what the rest of it was, but there were some other bits and bobs. Obviously we've got it serviced as well, so my bill's quite big for that one. Customers doing all right out of it, obviously, because they're serviceable items, so they're things that even if it had gone straight through its MOT, you might have needed a few months later on, 6 months on, later on down the road. You know, things like tyres and brakes, the things that even if you buy a fantastic car that sailed straight for its MOT, may well need those things within the next year of ownership. So they're doing all right out of it. Just the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. When I get all the paperwork through on it, we'll go through the numbers and find out how much we actually netted on this one. So that one, again, that's the danger with dealing in the older vehicles. Sold super quick because I priced it keenly. It was sub 5k, wasn't it? Moved super quick because I sold it 10 times over, but the likelihood of costs are that much higher. And this is why people message me and say, you know, can you do a car for £2,000? I need something around 2k. It's nigh impossible to do anything for around 2k because it's likely to be a much older car, which means the prep levels are going to have to be much higher. The odds of a claim are going to be that much higher. So you need to keep all of the margin in. Those are cars you absolutely need to make £1,000 clear profit on it. So if you need to make £1,000 clear profit on it and you're going to do all the prep and pay the VAT and the warranty and everything else, that needs to be a car you're getting for £400. So who's going to sell you a £2,000 car for £400? You can't even buy them at auction at that price. That's why that end of the market is nigh on impossible to do. So our two new purchases are in. Gone and picked these up this morning with Adrian. Obviously we had a problem with his truck there. Unfortunately, he's had something done wiring wise to it. The Topdon got us there, and we actually had to use it as a battery because his battery ran out. His battery light came on. Either his alternator's packed up or something. He had to swap out for a trailer in his truck. So yeah, not a good day for Adrian there. Don't know what's happened, but he'd already brought this over and unloaded it, and then he dropped me back and I drove this back over here. So yeah, he's still going to be able to get the Focus to our subscriber, but a bit of a pain in the bum for him. So what do we pick up? I told you in earlier videos what I bought. So the 2016 Citroen Cactus. Never done one of these before. I don't know what spec this one is. It seems to have quite a few toys, and obviously starting off we've got a metallic pearl paint. This is like a pearl metallic on it. We've got alloy wheels. Now obviously the thing with the Cactus was it had these rubber pockety things on the side, presumably to stop damage in car parks. Called an air bump apparently. It's quite a cool look. I think it's actually quite a cool looking little car. My daughter's seen this and wants me to drive it home tonight, so we'll do a bit of video driving it because she wants me to run around it. She likes to try out the different cars. But yeah, it's quite a nice looking car. We're missing the one of the ticks from the front end. We're going to have to track one of those down. But yeah, metallic paint. It's got the lower spots, so I imagine this is higher up the range. We've got some gloss finished wing mirror covers on it. All the alloys are in good nick apart from this one nearest the curb. That's going to need some kind of refurb. It's worth doing because the rest of them are really good, so it's worth doing a bit of time on that. Did I leave it unlocked? Or have I got the keys on me? Yes, I left it unlocked. I don't think the interior quite sort of plays to the exterior. There's some cool stuff like these leather strapped handles here are quite nice, and then you've got this funky bit on the dash here. I'm not sure what that's all about, but then the seats kind of let it down. I think they kind of stylised the seats a bit more. We've got a little bit of wear in the bolster there. We obviously need a wet clean of the seats, but to be fair, we need to do that on most cars. We've got a big old touch screen in the middle, and the back here, same sort of boring seats. I've got all the seats all the way back at the moment. There is a bit more legroom than this. I've just got all the seats all the way back at the moment. Yeah, again, I just, you know, the outside's quite funky, but it just didn't really follow it through to the interior. But that said, no less dull than a i10 or an i20, anything like that, I guess. So we'll look at the boot. I haven't looked in the boot yet. Hopefully there's no horrors. All of these plastics are going to do with a nice sort of tidy up. Oh, it's got a good sized boot on it. That's a good size. What we got underneath? We've got a space saver wheel. Quick look at the spec. We've got some nice gloss finished roof rails. Now we have got a pad here. If you remember from the earlier video, this was a driving instructor's car, and we've got a pad up here that they had their sign on. A sticky pad which has decided to crack. That needs warming up and taking off, but in the middle, some places, I think we might have to paint the roof. I think we might have to get Malk on the case and do a bit of painting up there to tidy it up. The rest of the paint looks like it'll come up well, so again, it looks like it's worth doing. I mean, you could just wrap the roof black, I guess, and that would give the car quite a good look and solve the problem, but this isn't totally smooth, and the wrap needs to be smooth, so by the time you're taking it back, you might as well paint it the right colour. I think the rest of it's going to buff up quite nicely. And like I say, I think it's going to pop a lot more because there is that pearlescent white. Spec wise, yeah, I mean, it's not too bad at all. You've got electric front windows, you've got electric rear windows. Oh no, they're pop out rear windows. They pop out. So you're learning with me. So we've got electric front windows, electric mirrors, cruise control, Bluetooth. And then we've got this little screen here. Is this touch? Yes, touch screen. Yeah, I need to have the engine on. We've got a rear reversing camera there and a touch screen. So it's really nicely kitted out, actually. Now this is a big thing, 136,373. I say this is a big thing. Modern cars will go on to do, especially diesels. This is a 1.6 diesel, will go on to do mega miles, won't they? And the thing with this one is that what we have got, as a driving instructor's car, they have to be keeping them maintained, and this one has a full service history. Let's just quickly go through that a moment. So we've got services 2017, 2018, 2 in 2018, 2019, a second one in 2019, 2020, 2021 and 2022. So it had a service only a little while ago, 128,000. So it is being properly looked after. What's we got on here? Oh, it's a DAB radio. That's a big bonus as well, isn't it? Oh, and we've got sat nav as well. So sat nav, DAB, rear reversing camera, Bluetooth, cruise control. So this must be quite a high spec one. So start her up. Starts no problem at all. No lights on a dashboard. Take a little spin around the car park. Like I say, we'll take it for a long... Oh, my big clodhoppers are getting both pedals. We'll take it for a longer spin. I'd say the clutch is towards the top of travel, but it's still got quite a bit before it's fully extended. My experience with clutches now is leave well enough alone. If they feel alright, leave them alone. I've replaced too many clutches that need replacing now, so I'm not doing any more of that. Obviously if they fail within my warranty period, that's something, but yeah, I've learned leave well enough alone. I'm just checking it goes through all the gears all right. I have had a little drive of it, just reminding myself. I say we'll go for a bit of a longer drive. I've got to take it home anyway, so I'll let you know my thoughts when we do that. But initials are, it goes through the gears okay. Like I say, it's got no warning lights. All of the equipment seems to work. Now obviously this we need to get out, which is the He-Man pedal set. Now I am assured that this is very simple to get out. I can see there's two 10mm bolts there, and apparently the arm goes across to there. It just needs to disconnect from that side, so we will look to see how the score is with that. So I can't remember how long the MOT is on it. We need to get that roof done. It could be that's the only thing we need to do. If the MOT is in line with the servicing, it could be that all we need to do is get the roof done. Value wise, Auto Trader says this is 5.6, I think, with this mileage on. So 2016 with 138. I bought it with the intention of wanting to sell under 5. The more cars I can get under 5, the better. So I'm going to retail this at 4,995. Like I say, once we've got that paint done on the roof, if the MOT is in line with the service, we'll just get a safety check done. We'll get that wheel tidied up on that side, get the pedals taken off, give it a good machine polish, and then for sort of 5k to be driving a 2016 car that's a little bit funky like this. I do like the look of it. I say it's just a shame the inside's not quite as fancy as the outside. Just needed something, maybe some colour in those seats would have lifted it a little bit. But no, other than that, it's really quite a cool little car. So we'll see how we get on with the longer drive today, because I haven't really taken it very far yet. Now, what do we got next? RAV4. We picked up this RAV4. This is really, really nice. This I've driven quite a bit now. I drove it back today. I took it for a decent test drive before I bought it. It really drives nicely, this. You can see why they're so popular. So this is the 2-litre RAV4, the 4-wheel drive version. It's an Invincible. Now, you Toyota people tell me below, is that top spec? Because this seems to have absolutely everything on it. So for starters, we've got the nice gold metallic paint, just needs a machine polish. We've got these big alloys on with the gunmetal grey finish on them. They all seem to be in really good nick. Luckily the tyres stick past the rim, so that always does a good job of protecting the wheels. All the door handles colour coded, wing mirrors colour coded. Got the lower fogs. Nice bit of chrome on the front. Got the silver finish roof rails on it, tinted rear glass. And then we get inside. We've got our reminder, good bit of kit that. Let's say starting Adrian's trap. So yeah, we've got the leather seats, all leather. We've got like carbon finish on there. On the trim up here, we've got a leather stitched dashboard on this one as well. Sat nav, cruise control. It's got Bluetooth. It's really nicely kitted out. We've got all the sort of 4-wheel drive lock diff, I guess that is down there. We've got heated seats. Oh, I'd missed that. And I didn't see sport mode. Oh, I'm going to take it back out again and give sport mode a go. So heated seats, auxiliary input, Bluetooth, dual zone climate control. It's got a reversing camera on it as well. This has to be a top spec one, doesn't it, guys? I'm sure you'll be telling me below. All the leather's in nice condition. A little bit wear on the driver's bolster, I think, if I remember rightly. I'll have a quick look at that in a minute. Rear seats are going to come up mint. Still smells nice and leather. It's got proper fitted mats. Just all needs a really... Oh, double matted. We like double matted, don't we? So that just needs a really good clean up. And the boot, I was trying to force the boot up. It's actually got a proper electric boot. There we go. We're getting fancy at Chops Garage now, aren't we, eh? Look at that. Got a boot liner. What's that bit of chrome trim from? I'll have to find a home for that bit. So we've got a boot liner there. Another double matted again. Doesn't stop much of the dirt though. Got the space saver in there. And then touch the button here. Down she comes. So another one looks like it just needs a really good valet. All round lecky windows, an electric seat. all working. Like I say, very minor, a bit of wear here. I can put my leather balm on that, I'll tidy that up. I think this will come up mint. The only big thing that needs, well, it's not a big thing, needs sorting out is the steering wheel's peeling. So you need to put a cover on the steering wheel. We'll try and recolour that. Got electric mirrors, keyless start, 105,000 miles. Now this one has quite a bit of service history. If I remember, the book started late, like there must be another book somewhere, I think. No, to lie, 2016, 2017 in the book. But then I've got a ton, got to be careful here, a ton of servicing receipts here. So when was this one from? Just 2 seconds. Yeah, see that's 2021. I've not put it in the book. There's a service there, 2021. Got a load of receipts here I need to go through and see how much the service history I can fill up. I think it's going to be pretty much full service history once I've gone through all those receipts. So we've got 2 keys. It's keyless start. Got a cruise control down there. I'll say Bluetooth. No engine lights at all. Idles really nicely. 6-speed gearbox. So with a 2-litre diesel and 6-speed box, it's going to be economical, I would have thought. It just drives really, really nice. Like I say, I had to run Adrian around a bit today, obviously with the problem with his truck. So use this, and it's yeah, it's just a really nice place to be. Really quite peppy. The 2-litre diesel was really quite peppy. It surprised me how nippy it is off the line. And this is going to clean up really nicely. It's going to be a fantastic looking car when I've finished doing my old machine polishing and tidying up on it. Gearbox was all fine. Clutch is nice. It's probably about just over halfway, I'd say. It's a really nice truck. Perfect rough round here. I know everybody goes on about ULEZ. Doesn't matter to us in Cornwall and Devon, guys. We're a long way off having to worry about that at the moment. Yeah, really, really drives nicely. I'm feeling this is going to go out the door pretty darn quick. Price wise, let me remind myself. I was quite surprised by the value of this, actually, if I remember rightly. Actually, I guess I say surprised by the price. It isn't actually that much. I think Auto Trader said 9.5 for this on a 2014 with 100,000, which doesn't surprise me, I guess, because the spec is really good and it is Toyota, isn't it? I again will look to undercut that. I want to try and do 8,995 on this. I think that would be a really good price point for it. It's a really nice looking truck, but too nice for me. I'd wreck it. It needs to get. It needs to have a softer life than it's going to have with me running back and forth to work in oily clothes. Well, not so oily these days, I guess, is it? It's more just cleaning stuff. So interesting 2 little buys there. I'll be interested to see how the C4 goes. We have got a subscriber who saw me post it on Instagram. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll see the cars that are coming up a bit sooner than you will on the YouTube channel. He wanted first refusal on this. I said I'd do him a little video for it. Well, he's going to watch this video, so he'll get an idea of whether he wants it off the back of this or not. I suspect, like I say, that the RAV4 will go quickly afterwards. So we've still got to come the Land Rover Discovery that I've bought. Have I mentioned that yet? I can't remember if I've mentioned that. So I bought a Land Rover Discovery 3. So yeah, I do feel sort of a bit of self-loathing already. And I also bought, to balance that out, the yin with the yang, I bought myself 2 Hyundais. Hyundai i10, we love an i10, don't we? 2012, 50,000 miles. And a Hyundai i20, 2009. So that'll be a cheap end car. That'll probably be, the 2012 will probably be a 3,795. The 2009 Hyundai i20, again, only 50 odd thousand miles on it. Full service history. That's still only a 3K car as well. So that'll fly at the moment in this current market. A 3K car with 50 odd thousand miles on it, 5-door 1.2 is gonna fly out the door. I'll be amazed if that sits around, but it does need a good old machine polish. But we'll have a look at those when they come in. So heading home in a C4 Cactus. First drive of one of these. Well, decent drive anyway, other than the quick run around the block to make sure it goes through the gears. Immediately it's very Citroen, it's comfy, chair's nice and comfy. Everything comes to hand. I don't feel like my arms are overstretched out or my legs are overstretched out. All feels nicely positioned. I guess this is kind of, if you're looking for something as an alternative to a Focus, say, want to be a bit quirky, a bit different, that's probably what the C4 Cactus is for, isn't it? Make you stand out from the crowd a little bit. Wind noise isn't too bad. There's not much in the way of tyre roar, that's good as well. Feels quite softly set up on the suspension. Again, we haven't got crazy narrow tyres in their profile. Their profile is decent. Wheels aren't too big, so it's actually got room to travel in the wheel arches, and there's a bit more rubber there to absorb some of the bumps. You don't really want your Citroen riding hard, do you? You knew it's coming. Doesn't seem to have any knocks or bangs from the suspension. That all seems good. But yeah, so far feels fairly roomy. It's comfy. It's not too noisy on the road. It's got a nice little bit of torque from that diesel. We'll get a chance to throw it for some corners in a bit and see what we think of that. I'll hold back just a little bit so we've got a bit more space. I want to whip it through this tight set of bends at the bottom here. See how she feels. Change direction quickly. That's quite nice. It's got quite direct steering actually. Surprised me, I thought it'd be a bit more wallowy than that. Right, hold back a little bit more again. Got some tight corners here to go through. It feels genuinely quite rapid when you drop it down a cog and hit that torque curve. Right, tight corner here, let's see how we go. Tell you what, held the line really well through there. I think that's the bit I'm most surprised about it so far, is it actually will take a corner. It's not like one of the bigger diesel engines where you can just leave it in gear and just punch that torque, but if you drop it down just one cog, get it into that torque band, it genuinely feels quite nippy. But I can tell you it certainly doesn't feel like a car that's covered 136,000 miles. But I guess that's the advantage, is if you're going to buy a high miler, buy a young high miler. You should remember guys that the only car we've binned off and put back through auction was a 30,000 mile Kia because of bore score. It was smoking really badly, if you remember, if any of you been watching that long enough. And that will have been down to poor maintenance. I must note we did put it back through Copart and list it with having an engine fault so that nobody else got burnt. I wouldn't even do that to another dealer. That's probably it for this one. I'm keeping some updates short and sweet because I know I've been a bit slack in getting content up, and I realise that some of these videos like this will probably be watched by not too many people other than the hardcore choppers, and then the longer, more detailed videos and more dramatic stuff will just be it'll just be watched by those fly-by-nights that come in and out, won't it? So yeah, just keep you updated on what's going on. As always, thanks so much for watching. Do hit the subscribe button down below if you're not subscribed. It costs you nothing. Just send you alerts when the latest videos come out. Helps the channel. Also helps the channel if you give the video a thumbs up, because it tells other people that this is the kind of video they might want to watch. Anyway, thanks a lot. Catch you later. Bye. Oh, you're going to want to see the next video as well, because that's when the Discovery 3 is going to be coming in. So you can know we're going to be on for a whole world of hurt with that. Bought sight unseen as well. And then we've got the two Hyundais coming in. So again, I'm hoping that they balance each other out, but you're going to want to see when the Discovery comes in.